All right, here we go, March 26th. And I apologize for getting you guys up early today, but I have an out of the office thing I've got to be at 11, so that was the reason for the change. But as Arba and I were just kind of chatting, waiting for everybody to show up, we were talking
Hmm.
about how you got to really keep your eye on the ball with all this exciting stuff out there that is it's inundating us at a mile a minute. And if you're not focused on making money, you can really spend your day chasing your tail and playing with cool stuff. I mean, there's the stuff that's coming out, it's just like it's one shiny out. The objects keep getting shinier. Let's just say that. But and I got to tell you, this stuff for me is really, really exciting because it's allowing me to do things I've never been able to do before. And I don't like to admit that. I don't like to admit that, I'm challenged on things, but mostly where most of my challenge lies is this little battle between my ears of, yeah, I should do that, but yeah, I don't want to work that hard. That is, it's not a challenge of I can't, it's a challenge of I won't. And and that's been my biggest thing. I'm not going to say that it's really damaged me because I've done just fine doing what I do. But my God, in the last 2 weeks, I've just been on this journey of getting what I want. And it's like Perry Belcher said this a few years ago when he did his very first AI bot summit. He came out and he was talking about something that seemed kind of pie in the sky. And he asked everyone in the audience a question. He said, what would you do if you had an army of 10,000 people, highly skilled at your fingertips, that you didn't have to pay, and they could do anything you wanted done? What would you do? And and that's kind of where we're at now. It really is. With the agentic AI, that is where we're at. I mean, this thing is amazing. When you when you ask it to do something, you don't have to know how to do it. You just have to ask it what you want done. Like, hey, can you do this? Or I've gotten more in the habit now. This is a different kind of prompting too. I'm gonna have to like start teaching you guys when we release the agentic product. I'm gonna have to teach you guys how to talk to it because it's different. It's a different level of a conversation to be able to get what you want. It's not just like prompting for Chat GPT. And to give you an idea of the chat transcript between me and the machine over the last week, it's about 500 pages long. And that sounds like, oh my God, I'm not going to do that. It was a very natural conversation that went on between me and it. And a lot of it was me to learn how to work with it. But nonetheless, it was like an education of a lifetime. And the stuff that came out of it is just like blowing my mind. And probably one of the biggest things that I got out of it was a full-blown marketing campaign that I've never done before. And I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. I kind of started to show you guys last week, but we've finished it off now. It's kind of it's been flushed out. And I was looking at it last night and I'm like, "Oh my God, I if I were to go out and hire someone to do this, if I were to hire an agency, this is like the best of the best of the best what I got." It would have probably, I'm going to estimate somewhere between 50 and $100,000 for what I got. And it would have been worth it. Like I paid I paid $10,000 just for a copywriter for the ClickBank exercise that we did. And it was good copy, but it was no better than, what I could have done. With this was better than I could have done. This was far better. And it did it in my voice. Like even Becky, like I've been leaning on Becky a lot for a lot of the stuff because I don't want to do the videos. I don't want to do all the training videos and stuff. So here's the perfect example. Like 2 weeks ago, I had that webinar coming up where we were basically promoting the new Optimancer program. And I was not ready. I had made the commitment for Tuesday that I was going to do this webinar with a webinar partner. Now, you don't let webinar partners down. When you make a date to do a webinar with a webinar partner, you you run circles to make sure that you come through for them. Well, I got to Sunday and remember the webinar's on Tuesday. And Sunday, the guy is sending me an email like, "Do you have the swipe files?" And I'm like thinking, "Oh shit, I do not. I don't even have the webinar presentation. I haven't even started working on a PowerPoint yet." And I don't know why I pushed it all off that far, but I think subconsciously I did it as a test. I was going to fall back on this thing and see if it could save me. And I jumped into action Sunday and I went to it and I said, "Look, I really screwed the pooch here. I have this big webinar presentation on Tuesday and I need some help." And it jumped into battle mode. It said, "First, we need to outline the presentation." It says, "I already understand from our prior conversation what the product is. That's not a problem. Let me handle this for you." And within 10 minutes, it spit out the outline for the webinar. And then the next thing it spit out was the emails. It says, "Get these to your promoter immediately so he can start sending them out." So I sent those, the promotion started, people started opting in. Now, before they started opting in, it had me all set up with the landing page opt-ins, the email sequence to go out after people opted in, and then it started building the presentation. It knew the exact order that I needed everything in. And once it gave me the webinar presentation, it even told me, it says, "You need to practice this 3 times before you do this live." And it also had the piece for Chris Armiston. And it was a little confusing because there was two Chris's. The promoter was Chris Cantel, and then the partner that I have in the software development is Chris Armiston. So it had the introduction for Chris Cantel to give for us. It had my part, it had the other Chris's part, and the webinar, it went in such a natural flow. And it wasn't pushy, it wasn't salesy, it didn't do all the stuff of, "Oh, well, it's worth this and this and this, and you should be spending $10,000." It didn't do any of that crap because it knows it knows that's not me. It did it literally in my voice. And we ran the webinar. Tuesday came, we had about 200 people signed up. And that was good. That was a good sign up ratio for this group. This was a smaller group, so we got a big chunk of them to sign up. Now, only 17 showed up for the live webinar, which is pretty average. It's actually not bad. 17 out of the 200 for a show up rate to a webinar, that's not a bad number. But the number that was really impressive was Normally, on a live webinar like that to a small audience, normally we might sell one, maybe two. One or two would be good numbers, but we sold seven. We sold seven on the live webinar to 17 people. So those numbers right there, I know that's not a lot of sales, but the numbers are impressive. The the product worked. The webinar actually converted really, really well. Now, from Tuesday to Sunday, and Sunday would have been this prior Sunday, we closed the webinar sale out, removed it, and sent them to retail if they didn't buy, during the sales window. We had over 50 sales between the live webinar and the close on Sunday night. We had over 50 sales. So that's a 25% close ratio to a webinar. That's the highest I've ever had. So that was my personal best conversion rate on a webinar ever of anything I've ever done. And I'm like, holy shit, this was great. When I gave the numbers back to the agent, it gave me all the things and it showed me where the bottleneck was. Said you would have done better had you converted better on this piece. It analyzed the whole thing. It told me where I stumbled. And it said, now let's fix it. Let's fix it and make evergreen. Make it evergreen. And I'm just like, right on. That would have been my next question is, can we make this evergreen? So it wanted me to load it up the actual webinar. I gave it the recording. It analyzed our recording. And out of analyzing our recording, it came back and it said, do you have an 11 Labs account? I said, yes, I do. And it said, load me up your API for 11 Labs. I'll clone your voice and Chris's voice and I'll recreate the webinar for you in your own voices. And I'm like, oh my God, you've got to be kidding me. I don't have to do this again. And I said, I would really like for the Evergreen, since Chris Cantel introduced us, I would really like my Becky to be the one that introduces us. So it did that. It created the webinar. Becky introduced us. I'm going to say I did my part, but it did my part in my voice. And it brought Chris in for his piece in his voice and recreated the entire webinar for me. Put it into the sequence. And I think I started to show you guys last week. I asked it to make me an admin web page so I could keep track of all the stuff, all the pieces. Because that's important for me to keep everything straight in my head, like what all do I have access to and where to get it. That's my biggest thing. I'll have shit all over my computer and I can't find anything. So it said, that's a great idea. Let me make that for you. And it made me an admin page, which I want to show you guys because this, like, to me, this is probably, well, I don't know if it's the most impressive part, but to me, it is. To me, this is like the keys to the kingdom here, to have everything organized. And not only for me, but for all of the people involved. Like for me, it's one thing. That's great. But in an evergreen situation, I'm going to lean on affiliate partners to sell this for me. So to have all the stuff for them, I've never done that before. I have been so thin on materials, marketing materials for affiliates, and I've still done well. So I can't even imagine how well I'm going to do when I roll this out to the affiliates. So I want to show you guys like what I'm talking about. So I'm going to share the screen here, and I think you guys can probably see this at this point. See this? It says admin sitemap, not for public use. This is for me only. It loaded it. Well, it didn't load them. I had to load the files to my server, but it gave me a folder of all the files. This basically is its own self-contained web page right here with all the stuff for this campaign. Now, keep in mind, I didn't have to build anything in Kartra. The only thing I had to do in Kartra was I had to give it my purchase buttons to plug in, and I had to give it my opt-in button to opt in to the opt-in page. And but outside of that, the only thing I had to do in Kartra was load up my email sequence that it gave me. And I had to, what else? Oh, I wanted all the videos trackable. So all the promotional videos, everything that is video in here is Kartra embeds for the videos. So that's all I really supplied it. And then it put this whole site together. Now, this page here is not pretty. This isn't meant to be pretty. This is meant to be functional. This is really for internal use. So it's not pretty. But to me, it's functional to a really high level. So it gives me the different categories. Like here's the Evergreen Masterclass funnel flow. They opt in, they go to the on demand, they hit the sales, and if they don't, they have 72 hours here to do this. It built all the timers in. It built all the sequences in. So no matter when somebody hits this opt-in page and starts the replay process, they're given 72 hours. The clock starts. So Arba could come in here on Monday and Roger could come in on Tuesday and Ken could come in on Thursday. It doesn't matter when somebody comes in. The clock starts 72 hours for them on their time. The email sequences roll out on their time, counting down that 72 hours for them. So that's how the Evergreen funnel works. Now, it also made the white label agency funnel. Same thing, opt-in page. The thank you page is where the AI test, the widget logo goes, or not logo, the widget for opting in and getting your free report. Free report widget goes here. Then the email sequence, and it's pushing. Remember, this is retail. This is to sell the product itself. This is for our agencies that purchase the product to sell the product to retail customers, business owners. So they're offering a free report to see if your site's visible or not. The email sequence goes out trying to get that person to sign up for a consultation so you can sell them the service. Now, the reason I didn't send them to a sales page here was one, I don't know if that's the flow they wanted. Two, I don't know how much they're going to sell it for. And three, they might want to sell it at different prices depending on who they're talking to. Like a normal, small business local, they might want to sell it for $100 a month. A big manufacturer, they might want to sell it for $1,000 a month. That consultation is important to figure out who you're talking to and what they're doing and what the value is to them. So this is where custom consultations come in. You're selling to them based on their needs, who it is and their needs. And I talked about this particular thing in one of the training videos for the agency owners when they purchase this, of how this works. Now, here's the one. This is the one that just absolutely blew my mind. This is all the stuff for my affiliates for recruitment and flow. So there's an affiliate sign up page, which I had one of these before, but it didn't look this good. There's the Kartra application, which that's just the Kartra button to sign up as an affiliate. And then we've got the resources, the affiliate resources. That includes the swipe files, all the promotion to promote the webinar. It's everything they need. And it's going to, I hope it impresses you like it impressed me, because that was quite an impressive thing. But let me show you, every time you click one of these buttons, it loads the actual asset. So this is the opt-in page for the Evergreen webinar. And before I show it to you, I want to tell you, like when I was training the agents. The first job, when you train the agent, the first job is to lay ground rules, lay parameters. You need to tell it who you are. If you want it to write in your voice, you have to tell it who you are. So I spent a lot of time with it, giving it my history. I pointed it to resources online to read about me and figure out who I was. I gave it a lot of information myself. A lot of the stories that I tell you guys in the calls, that's stories from my experiences from all the way from childhood to now of all my business experiences, all the places where I learned lessons along the way. So I fed all of that into it. I gave it all of my past pre-recorded videos so it could consume all that and figure out all my stories. So when it when I trained it on who I was first. Then I trained it on my business, on Internet Dominators, and how that came to be, how that was originally Limbo Vision as a commercial photographer, and then it turned into the internet, changed the name to Internet Dominators. I gave it all of that. So it knew everything about me. And when it created this campaign, it actually pulled from something it learned about me with Perry Belcher in 2010, from me being one of the top SEO people in the world, and a story that Perry told on stage that was about a diamond thief. He told, or I told it the diamond thief story, and how Perry Belcher used to refer to me as the ultimate diamond thief, and how that all correlated to SEO. So it actually brought that forward, and it said, "This is an opportunity for us to position you as a diamond thief." That's the intrigue. Like in a big idea, that's the intriguing part. Like, what? Diamond thief? That pulls them in. So that's part of the attention grabbing on all the advertisements leading into this thing. It's positioning authority. And it's a really, really cool story. So anyway, that's the whole thing is diamond thief oriented. So when we go to this landing page, there's a diamond thief theme here. And it called the webinar the Smash and Grab. So, how to legally steal all the customers you could ever want using AI. That's a big idea that's tied in with a visual graphic. So, it did all of that. It learned the ACT program. And this is the ACT program in use right here. And then it gives a fact: 65% of searches now happening on AI. Two SEO pioneers reveal how to dominate the new AI search landscape. Now, that's the header. It's expecting you just to click. That opens up a Kartra box where you opt in. But I want to show you the rest of the page first. Then it goes into, if they don't click, if they're not hooked here, it's going to continue to hook them. So what you'll learn, what you'll discover, and it's got all the points. This is all like pulled from the emotions of the person this is targeted to. Again, pop up the opt-in box. Then we've got Meet Your Hosts. Talks about me and Chris Ormiston. Gives a little bit of our background. And again, authority, why you want to see this. And then one final call to action. Now, when you click on here, when you actually opt in, you're going to go to the next page, which is the evergreen. This is the actual webinar replay. So we're not positioning this moving forward as a webinar. It's a replay. It's instant access. So once you pop in here, it's got, we actually show them right now what the product is. I know a lot of people will hold this back and keep this and keep you on the edge of your seat and all that crap. We're putting it right out front. Optimancer presents. Watch the replay. Smash and grab. How to legally steal all the customers you could ever want using AI. We're keeping the tone and the theme. We're basically delivering on every promise that we make. When this starts up, This is this 100%. This was 100% AI. And then we got the countdown timer. So I actually watched this the other day, so the countdown timer is already in motion for me. Like I said, it's 72 hours from the time that you start this process. So the clock is running. So this would be me coming back again. I'm like, oh shit, I only got 1 day and 3 hours left. I better make a move. Now this button will just scroll you down to the pricing. This button, we didn't put the live demonstration in the webinar. We refer to it. If you want to see a live demo of the product, like if you're not sold, click the button below and watch a live demo. This live demo is the one that I did where I actually walked through using the product, where I set Jim's website up. This is that video. It walks through every step, every click, every page. And so if they're not sold, they can actually see how the product works without scheduling a live demo with you, without burning up my time. My time's already burnt one time here. So again, it watches. This is ensuring that they watch the video. In this training, you'll discover lock in the founder pricing. So it's got the regular pricing and the founder lock in, and it's also got the hosts again. Here's the video. This is where you would scroll down to. If you click this button here, it's going to scroll you down to watch the video down here. So it's all in one page. There's the countdown timer again, last chance to order, and then the footers. And it created affiliate terms. It looked at my affiliate terms and it came back and it told me, it goes, you have a lot of holes in your affiliate agreement. You might want to have an attorney fix that. And I went back to it and I said, okay, well, we both know you know what the attorney's going to say. So how about you write the agreement up the way it should be, and I'll have an attorney review it. How about that? I said, perfect. It knocked it out, boom, like that. Gave me a full-fledged affiliate agreement that's a legal document, basically. I just haven't had it reviewed yet. So let me show you I'll just show you just the introduction here of this webinar where Becky introduces us.
Well, 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 look who showed up. You clicked. You're curious. And honestly, that tells me something about you already. You're not the type who waits around hoping customers find you. You're the type who goes out and gets them. Good, because what you're about to see in this training is going to change everything you think you know about getting customers online. We're calling it the smash and grab. How to legally steal all the customers you could ever want using nothing but AI. Sound aggressive? Good, it should, because the opportunity right now is that big. Now, picture this. It's midnight. You're standing outside a high-end jewelry store. The lights are still on inside. The diamonds, the gold, the Rolexes, all just sitting there behind the glass. The safe is wide open, the register is full, and you have a sledgehammer. Now, before you call the cops on me, this is a metaphor, but it's also the most accurate way to describe what's happening in AI search right now. There are millions of customers sitting behind glass, business owners with money in hand, customers who need what you're offering. But nobody can reach them because they're completely invisible to AI. 98% of all websites, gone. Like they don't even exist. And what we're handing you in this training, it's the sledgehammer that breaks that glass wide open. The opportunity is real, it is massive, and almost nobody knows about it yet. So pay attention, because what comes next could change everything. Now, let me introduce you to the two gentlemen behind all of this, because these aren't your typical marketing guys. Not even close. First, John Limbacher, 25 plus years cracking search engine codes, generated over $100 million in online sales for his clients. He's been playing cat and mouse with Google since the mid 90s, since before most people even had email. Some people in the industry labeled him a black hat. And you know what? That always makes me laugh, because here's what they don't tell you. John has never lost a single client's website. Not one, ever. In over 25 years of operation, not a single client's site taken down. Meanwhile, the so-called white hats, they were the ones getting clients banned left and right. They were the ones losing sites. But John, he was the safest operator in the room every single time. Remember that Perry Belcher quote, "The best diamond thief is the one you've never heard of"? That's John. He was once invited to speak in front of 400 of the top digital marketers in the world. Someone in the audience shouted, "If he's so good, why haven't I heard of him?" And John grabbed that microphone and said, "Who's the best diamond thief?" Well, you wouldn't know who he was if he was very good, now would he? I am known on a need-to-know basis, and you don't need to know me. Standing ovation. And then there's Chris Ormiston. Chris was one of the original Google algorithm engineers, one of about 9 people in the room when they built the very system that ranks everything you've ever searched for online. He helped build the vault, and then he walked away to crack it from the outside. Together, these two have over 60 years of optimization experience. They've been partners for decades, building software tools that most people have never even heard of, because that's how they operate, in the shadows, on a need-to-know basis. And the software they built for this, it started with a $60,000 contract from a multi-billion-dollar manufacturer. You're gonna hear that story. It's wild. Now, I'm going to hand you over to the man himself. John, take it away.
All right, so let me tell you what we're going to cover in this training.
So I'll stop it there, but that was a pretty damn good introduction, a pretty damn good lead up to get someone to watch this thing through to the end. And it goes on. This goes on for an hour. This is a 1 hour webinar. Chris Ormiston comes in. He actually talks about how he and I met, which is another really solid story about, the mastermind group that used to run in the shadows of the best SEO people in the world. And we got invited to that. And it was a bunch of marketers that put it together. And Chris and I were the only two in that room that were actually doing client work. We were doing Fortune 500 companies at the time. And the rest of these guys, they were just doing all this crazy shit that was getting them banned left and right. And we both looked at each other and like, oh, no way we're doing that crap. So that's how that that's how the flow of this thing goes. Now, next thing I want to show you, it's got the sales page. This is actually the sales page. If somebody came in a different way and they wanted to click to go through to the sales page, same thing. You got Becky here telling our story, bringing them in, and then you've got this is basically a traditional sales website page. Got all the stuff that you need to know, and then it's got the retail pricing here. So if somebody, this is where they'll go if they go through the webinar and they get to the end of the 72 hours and they didn't buy and they come back, they're going to get this pricing. So that's the way the flow goes. Yeah, the white label. This is for the white label people. This funnel is to sell it to the end consumer. The funnel you guys just saw, that was to sell the software. That's with me and Chris behind the scenes just supporting you in your business to actually smash and grab those customers. So this website was made for them, for the agencies. And it's much simpler. It's is your in this one, this is the one that's leading you to a consult. So This is Becky in, let me see what the
Hey,
timing is. In 2 minutes. This is her pitching your customers for you. So I'll just play that. It's 2 minutes.
let me ask you a question that might sting a little. When someone asks ChatGPT or Siri or any AI assistant for a recommendation in your industry, do they mention your business? Yeah, I didn't think so. And that is a much bigger problem than you realize. Here's what's happening right now. Over 65% of all searches are moving to AI platforms. Not Google, AI. And here's the part that should worry you. AI doesn't just crawl the web like a search engine. It chooses who to recommend and who to ignore. There are three invisible factors that determine whether AI sees your business or skips right over it. And most businesses, they're failing all three. Think about that for a second. Your website could be beautiful. Your reviews could be amazing. Your service could be outstanding. And none of it matters because AI simply does not know you exist. Your competitors who do show up, they're getting the calls, they're getting the traffic, they're getting the customers that should have been yours. Here's the good news. We built a free test that shows you exactly where you stand. In about 30 seconds, it scans your website against the key factors AI uses to decide who gets recommended and who gets left in the dark. You'll see right away, pass or fail, whether AI can even find your business. So, here's what I want you to do. Scroll down, enter your name, your email, and your website URL, and let's find out the truth. Are you visible or are you invisible? To the biggest shift in search since the internet itself. Go ahead, scroll down and find out.
So that's where you have to enter. This is the opt-in. So the agency would put their Kartra opt-in or their Go High Level opt-in or whatever CRM they're using to opt in, and then that would forward them to the thank you page. Now, this is where you actually take the test. This is the AI visibility test. And you paste your code in here for your white label, and then your widget shows up right there where they take the test. And then you got Becky here telling you next step. Here's what's next.
So, you took the test. And now you know. Your business has been invisible to AI. Don't worry, you're not alone. The truth is, 95% of businesses are in the exact same spot right now. They have no idea that AI is already choosing their competitors over them. But here's what makes you different. You actually showed up and found out. Now, that test you ran, it showed you the what. What's broken? What's missing? What AI can't see? But it doesn't show you the how. How to fix it, how fast you can fix it, and how to make sure AI doesn't just find your business, but starts recommending it. That's what the consultation is for. Here's how it works. You schedule a free consultation. No cost, no obligation, no pressure. On that call, our team walks through your specific results. We show you exactly what needs to be optimized. Your content, your structure, the technical elements that AI uses to decide who to trust. Think of it like getting a custom roadmap built around your business, showing you the fastest path from invisible to unmissable. Now, I want to be real with you for a second. This window is closing. AI search is growing fast. Every week that goes by, more of your competitors are getting optimized, and the gap between visible and invisible gets harder to close. The businesses that move now are the ones that lock in their position early, while there's still room at the top. The ones that wait, they'll be playing catch up and paying a lot more to get there. So, here's the move. Click the button below, pick a time that works for you, and let's have a real conversation about making your business the one AI recommends instead of the one it ignores. It's free, it's 15 to 20 minutes, and it could be the most important call you make this year. And if you're not quite ready for a call, no problem. Click the link below to learn more on our website. We've got everything you need to see what's possible. Either way, your next move starts right here.
So she's pitching for you. This is for the agencies. And then there's the consultation, there's the click to go to your website. And it's the same messaging. There's no headers and footers in here. The agency can put those on if they want to or not and just use it as a landing page. So that's the white label. Now, next, this is the resources that are for the affiliates. Like I just showed you us doing our webinar. I showed the funnel for the agencies that buy the webinar. Now I'm going to show you the resources we built for other affiliate partners to sell this for us. This is the affiliate center that it created. It shows the commission rates. It shows the checklist of what's here. It's got guidelines, basically, telling them how to do it. Here is the pre-masterclass email sequence. These are the emails that you send to get people to watch the webinar. And there's 7 of them. Final push. So those are all the emails for the affiliate to send out. Now, once they hit there, here's the post masterclass follow-ups. So if they send that whole series of 7, they continue on assuming that the person clicked and saw it. So if they didn't, these will create even more FOMO. So they can send these out. This basically tells them what they missed and gives them another opportunity to go watch the webinar. So there's a whole nother series taking them up to 12. So it's a series of 12 emails for the affiliate to crack this and make money. Here is social posts. If they're an affiliate marketer, if they're doing Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, it says just replace the affiliate link before posting. And this gives you all the posts to run out to the affiliate or for the affiliate into social media. And it's got all these different angles. So you could basically inundate your social media with all these different angles. Here's ad copy there's a lot of affiliates that run cold marketing and retargeting. So it's got all the ad copy for the Facebook ads. It's got here, it recommended that we do some kind of a bonus contest. So I'm putting in there and I see we have to center this. So that's one mistake that it made so far. So we're doing a 3-day yacht trip to Catalina Island. So the top affiliate at the end of the summer, we're going to take the top affiliate out on whatever kind of trip they want. If they want to go fishing, if they want to go hang out at the island, whatever. All they have to do is get to the boat and everything else is on me. So if you want to go on that trip, you just need to sell the most of these between now and the end of summer. Yeah, you got downloadable resources. This is an affiliate one sheet, a webinar case study. These are all things that you can use to promote. There's marketplace listings if you want to run the stuff in JVZoo or ClickBank. Here is more downloadable assets. So it created the videos. Like if you want to run YouTube Shorts, there's 10 videos here formatted for YouTube Shorts. Those are really, really cool little videos. Then you've got the graphic catalog. It's got all the Diamond Thief banners, different sizes, and you can download all these. Then it's got the social post graphics. This is for Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. So it's got all the ad copy, all the graphics. Again, this is for affiliates. This is all the work done for you to sell this as an affiliate. Then it's got the story reel graphics, different size. Then it's got ad banners. This is like for retargeting. All this done for affiliates. And this is where I said earlier, I have never gone to this extent to support anyone. And, Richard's, this is probably just blowing his mind because this is all the stuff he's been asking me for 10 years. And it's all right here. So these little videos, these have all the different angles of the smash and grab, the diamond thief, the confession, talks about white hats. It's all different angles to position this. This one talks about 25 years working in the shadows. Here's this one's really good, assembling the crew. And I'll just show you a couple of these so you can see what they're like. These are social posts.
Every great heist starts the same way. You assembled the crew. John Limbacher spent 25 years as the best diamond thief in SEO. Invisible, undetected, never a single client harmed. He found every vulnerability in the search engines before anyone else even knew they existed. Chris Ormiston was one of the original engineers on Google's first algorithm team. He literally helped build the vault. Then he walked away and started cracking it from the outside. Together, they've been playing cat and mouse with search engines for decades and winning. Now they're planning the biggest score yet. AI optimization. The entire landscape is shifting from search engines to AI engines, and there's a massive window of opportunity that won't stay open forever. But here's the thing. John and Chris don't want the spotlight. They never have. They build the tools, they write the playbooks, they work from the shadows. What they need is the crew. Agency owners, freelancers, entrepreneurs, people who want to be the hero for their clients, while John and Chris handle the behind-the-scenes magic. They put the entire recruitment briefing into a free training called the Smash and Grab. Think of it as your invitation to join the crew. The heist is already underway. The only question is whether you're in or you're watching from the outside. Link in bio. Come meet the crew.
I mean, this whole thing is theme oriented and it's right on the money every step of the way. Every one of these is got that whole theme tied in. Let's see. The agency goldmine, the smash and grab, the diamond thief, white hats. This one sticks a fork in the white hats.
What if I told you the most dangerous people in SEO were the ones who called themselves safe? For years, the search engine optimization industry had these neat little labels. White hat meant you played by the rules, gray hat meant you bent them, and black hat? That meant you were the bad guy. John Limbacher got slapped with that black hat label early on. The industry decided he was the villain. But here's what actually happened over 25 years. The white hats? They got their clients banned. The gray hats? They got their clients penalized. Their rankings would vanish overnight and they'd stand there scratching their heads wondering what went wrong. And John, the so-called villain, never lost a single client site. Not once in over 25 years. Because real black hat is undetectable. That's the entire point. The good guys were actually the dangerous ones, and the bad guy was the only one keeping everyone safe. Now, that same villain has a new target, AI. He and Chris Ormiston built a system called Optimancer that makes businesses visible to every AI platform out there, and they put everything into a free training called the Smash and Grab. No hype, no fluff, just the playbook from the guy who never got caught. The villain wins again. Link in bio. Go grab it.
Here's this one's funny, the confession.
I need to confess something, and the SEO industry is not going to like it. For over 25 years, a man named John Limbacher was labeled the villain of search engine optimization. The industry called him a black hat, the dangerous one, the guy you weren't supposed to trust. Here's the thing though. In 25 plus years of doing SEO, John never had a single client site banned. Not one. Zero. His track record was flawless. You know who was getting clients banned? The white hats, the so-called good guys, the ones who followed every rule in the book and still watched their clients disappear from search results. Meanwhile, John was quietly stealing diamonds right out from under all of them, invisibly, undetected, for decades. And now he's finally coming out of the shadows. He and Chris Ormiston have cracked the code on AI optimization, and they're revealing the entire playbook in a free training called the Smash and Grab. This isn't theory. This is 25 years of being the best kept secret in digital marketing finally going public. The Diamond Thief is ready to talk. Are you ready to listen? Links in the bio. Don't miss this one.
So I'll give you guys this page if you want to go through, if you want to watch all these. But I've been literally waiting decades to be able to say this stuff. A lot of what I did in SEO really was kept under the hat. It had to be. So, because that was the whole point, to keep my clients safe. So there was a lot of stuff that could not ever be said. So I really was on a need to know basis on a lot of stuff. And I never even optimized my own sites. That was one of the things that a lot of the agency owners would come back with me and they'd say, well, why should we trust you? You haven't even optimized your own site. And I said, nobody pays me to optimize my site. My clients pay a lot of money for me to optimize their sites, not my own. So, and I didn't need the exposure. I didn't want to draw any attention to myself. So I've been waiting literally decades to be able to come out and bitch slap all these idiots that called themselves white hat and, got all their customers banned. So for me, there's a lot of win-win to this whole campaign. And then we've got the agency resources. So this is a page for agencies where they get their business in a box. And it's got the stats, it's got all the different stuff for them, their email sequence, this is multi-platform installation guide. I got a lot of pushback from all the people that were on different platforms like Go High Level and all that. So it doesn't matter the way this is set up. It doesn't matter if you're on WordPress, Go High Level, Kartra, ClickFunnels, GetResponse, Aweber, Constant Contact, MailChimp, ActiveCampaign, HubSpot, System.io. This gives you the instructions for all of those. So it doesn't matter what system you're on, this funnel will work for you as an agency owner. And then it's got the Becky scripts if you want to use her scripts. It's got the widget. You can download the widget. Here's all the stuff that you're getting. Here's how the white label funnel works. It shows basically how to set it up, how to do the free consultation, the white label landing pages so you can download those. There's the guide, how to brand these on your own, how to actually edit them and make them for your agency. Here's the follow-up sequence of emails. Here's the actual widget and the instructions on how to install the widget. That widget is what does the free report for you. And then here's video scripts and voiceovers. Here's download the complete package. So you can, in one zip file, you can download that whole package of stuff for an agency owner. And that's the page for the agency owners. We've got the affiliate sign up. This is where we send people to sign up for the affiliate program. And this is basically just giving them all the way our affiliate program works. And then remember I told you guys that I it created affiliate terms for me? All the stuff looks the same. It's all very much branded to this diamond thief motif. But you can see all the stuff that it added in. I didn't have half of this stuff. I think I had 9 different things they had to agree to. And this basically brings it in and makes it all legal. I won't bore you scrolling through all that. Here's additional assets. And again, you're looking here at this is for my in-house team, gives us access to all of this. So we know where to find something at a glance. And then we've got archive pages. These are the pages from the original webinar. So if we want to go back and review them from an in-house perspective, we have access to go back and do that. There's our affiliate terms. I just showed you that one. It even made an onboarding page for when people actually purchase to help fulfill. And this again is Becky in a different, more business environment. This is what somebody gets when they purchase the product. It's an onboarding video.
Hey there! Welcome to the family! I'm Becky, John Lindbacher's AI marketing assistant. And before you ask, yes, I'm AI. But don't let that fool you. I was built on a foundation of deep business and marketing knowledge, and then personally trained by John, drawing from his lifetime of experience in digital marketing and agency growth. So when I say I know what I'm talking about, I mean it. Now, let's get you set up. Here's the first thing you need to know. You're going to receive 2 separate emails with 2 different logins. 2, not 1. The first is your login to our members portal. This is home base, where you'll find all of your training videos, supporting documents, and our help desk for support. The second is your login to the Optimancer platform itself. That's where the magic happens. Now, here's something important. All support goes through our ticket system. You'll find the help icon right in the top right corner of the members portal. Click it, submit a ticket, and our team takes it from there. And for your convenience, you'll also find helpful links and a support ticket option right inside the Optimancer control panel itself. So help is never more than a click away. Quick tip. If for some reason you don't receive your Optimancer platform login, don't panic. Just go to app.optimancer.com and reset your password using the email you made your purchase with. Now, if that reset email doesn't come through either, check your spam folder. Seriously, we're probably in there waiting for you. Once you're inside the members portal, head to the Optimancer tab. This rolls out all of your options: getting started, control panel access, Optimancer training, and white label resources. And I cannot stress this enough. Please watch the setup step-by-step video first and follow those instructions before reaching out to support. I promise, almost every question you have will be answered in that video. It covers setting up and operating Optimancer from start to finish. The other videos cover business practices and more advanced strategies, so there's plenty to dig into once you're up and running. And I am truly excited to have you here. John and I put a lot into building this for you, and I can't wait to see what you do with it. So go check those emails, get logged in, watch that setup video, and let's start building something extraordinary together.
So that right there solves 99% of my support issues. I get people that don't realize there's 2 emails. I get people trying to email me personally for support when in the support desk I can assign, or they automatically get assigned of who it goes to get that fixed. And also, almost every support ticket we've gotten prior to her giving you the instructions, almost every support ticket told me loud and clear they did not watch the setup video. So now that she's told them that, In the support tickets, we can just refer people to watch the setup video when they ask questions that tells us they didn't watch the setup video. Because it's the setup video really, if you have not watched that and you're an Optimancer user, you're not getting it. There's no way you're going to figure out all the steps and everything on your own. And you're going to spend all of your day in the support asking one little piece at a time, which is ridiculous. Just sit down. I mean, this is your career. Why would you not want to do this effectively? Sit down and spend the 20 minutes to go through that video that will help you do this right. It'll answer everything. I literally went through piece by piece. Now, if you've got a legitimate support ticket thing, like maybe something's down or something we might not know of, or you found a bug or something like that, great. We need to hear about that. But all the stuff about how to run the program is answered in that video. So, and I can clearly tell if you've watched it or not in 99% of cases. So,
Yeah, but John, there's people like me who don't watch the videos because they bore me. I get stuck and then I go back and watch the video.
well, that's okay. I mean, that's a choice of if you want to learn it
But
over
that's
the,
how I learn. Yeah,
yeah, but if you want to
that's my
learn
learning
over the
style.
next 2 weeks, asking one question at a time as you go through the process, to me, that's really painful. Like
Yeah,
for
but to me, doing it your way is painful. And I'm not, that's why I'm not picking on it. It's like, yeah,
yeah,
to me, that's me. And I'm honest. I tell people that
yeah, no,
I have to go fight the trenches out to figure it out. Optimized
that's
Press hates me because that's what I did to figure Optimized Press out.
well,
And
that's okay. I mean, everybody's different. My head's just way too soft for that. I can't hit the wall that many times and
my
remain
head's tough.
conscious.
My head's tough.
And here's
Try
the
it,
thing about
but
me. That's where I make my money. I make my money from all the lazy people that want somebody to walk them through something.
yeah, well, that's true too. I mean, that's why we have a support desk. But it will, in a lot of cases, that will fix our support issues. But I think like for Tim, what I would really recommend, and I know I think the problem is there's too many things going on all at once and there's too many connections for you to make and piece it all together. And I get that. I know there's a lot of people like that. But what might help is if you open up two windows. And you've got Optimancer over here and you've got the training video over here, and just play the training video for like 30 seconds where it tells you how to do one thing,
Mhm.
and then pause it, and then go over and do that thing and get it in your head. Okay, I got the first step. And
Mhm.
then go back and just turn it on again and watch the next step. Pause it, go back and do it. I think that from a time perspective and from a frustration perspective, and I'm very much that way. If you throw too many things at me, my mind is still processing the first thing, while the second one now is like throwing a wrench in the gears. And I think that's probably, we might not be that far apart in that.
I know, because like in my Perplexity account, half the projects I've got in Perplexity, it's like, okay, I've gotten too much information today. I'm going to pause this and get
Yeah,
back to it. And
yeah.
Perplexity is used to me saying that now.
Yeah, and you could do this process, what I'm talking about. You could do that over 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
Just pause the video, but guaranteed if you did it on your own and you just tried to figure it out and you asked all the questions one at a time, I bet you there's going to be stuff that you still miss.
Oh, I always do.
So I would really, even though it feels like you're banging your head against the wall, I would try it that way and just see if maybe that doesn't give
But
you.
yeah, but it's not just your programs I do that with, John. That's why I do that with everything.
Yeah.
That's probably why when people go, well, Tim, how does Zoom work? I'm able to tell you because I went and I broke it so many damn times and had to fix it. I know how to fix it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, cool. But can you guys see like that body of work? That body of work that I just showed you would have taken me 6 months. if I would have even done it, and I probably wouldn't have. And it knocked all that out in less than a week. And most of the time, it could have done it like when I look at the actual counter of the time that I was working directly with it and it was doing what it was doing, the total time lapse was 4.5 hours. So literally, if I would have been stuck to my computer just back and forth with no time lag, we could have knocked that entire thing out in 4.5 hours. But, I would give it what to do. And then as it was doing it, I'd go away. And then there'd be, a few hours left. And now we're at the end of the day. So we're going to pick it up tomorrow. And that's the beautiful thing about AI. It'll pick it up right where you left off. It doesn't forget. It doesn't say, oh, well, we need to start over. It just picks up right literally where you left off. So it's really, really powerful. What do you guys think about that? Like that campaign? Was that just like over the top? I know some top notch marketers that have big teams on staff that's what they do, and I really truly think that I am either in line or ahead of what they do with a big team and a lot of effort and a lot of hassle. So I'm pretty damn excited about it. I've been, just jumping up and down in my seat over this thing because now I know. In another thing with the AI, the way I train it, and this is what I'm going to teach as soon as we roll out the Agentic and you guys have access to it. I'm going to talk a lot about how to train it. And one of the things is every time it does something and I correct it and it's now locked in, I have it save it as a library item. And it saves it across the library items are accessible on all chats. So if you start up a new subject matter, it has access to that library to know how to do things your way. And one of the things was when it first output the HTML pages, I went and I looked at them. I looked at the actual code and I said, this code is very sloppy. I said, I'm supposed to be one of the top SEO people in the world. I can't put out sloppy code. And I asked it, I said, do you know how to do this right to the highest of SEO standards, or do I need to teach you? And what it said was, it said, oh, I get it. Let me take a crack at this first. And then you can tell me if I missed anything. Well, it went back and it readjusted it. It gave me a list of all the stuff that it did. And I'm like, holy crap, it did what I wanted. And I said, now I want you to lock this in as a library item. So anytime in the future, no matter what chat we're in, if you build a web page to me or for me, you lock in that standard on every web page you ever build for me forever. And it said, no problem, done. Every time you adjust it to do something to your specs, you have it lock it in as a library item. Like Becky's voice, I played around for quite a while getting her voice the way I wanted it. And once I did, I said, I need you to lock this voice in as a library item. So anytime I reference Becky voiceover, you know how to produce it. I want it the same every time. And it did, locked it in as a library item. And same with mine. When it got my voice right, when it got Chris's voice right, everything I'm doing with it, I know I'm going to use that stuff in the future, so I have it lock it in as library items.
How
And
much of those locked-in library items, John, are going to be in there when we get it, or do we have to start from the foundation and build it up?
well, there's right now there's currently about 1,600 of them that are locked in for you. Quite a few.
That sounds like a good start.
Yeah. And I can push any of them through that I want, any of them that you need. But this whole thing of how to build a marketing campaign, like obviously I didn't originally lock in like all the stuff about me because that's not relevant to you. You're going to want to do that for yourself. But what I may do, and I'm considering this, one of my testers that's actually testing this for me, he was not getting the campaigns built like I was. And I realized what the difference was. I had trained it on ACT. I had trained it on the ACT program. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm either going to build a training packet where you can upload the ACT docs for you to be able to train that inside yours, or I don't know if I want to lock it in as a library item because there might be somebody that wants to do their marketing based on Cialdini or Perry Belcher or somebody else. So I don't think I'm going to lock that in as a standard, but I can give you the package, and that's what I did with them. I gave them the package of files so it could train it on the ACT program itself.
Well, that sounds good, John. I'm trying to build out something that's basically a clone of me, and I'm teaching it all my stuff.
Yeah,
And there, but using Claude, even with the Abacus active memory, this active memory is rather small. And so there's a, it's, I don't know if this is actually a term, but he called it building a second brain, where you actually bring Obsidian in to remember all the stuff that the active window can't remember. And it can pull from that stuff. Are you doing it that sort of way, or are you doing a completely different configuration? And can I
I
plug, is there a way for me to plug my library of stuff about me into what you're building there so I can build a clone of me inside that system?
yeah, I don't really know about the programming end of it, like how they're doing it, but the memory that they're building into this, it's a cross-platform. So it's basically once it memorizes something, it's going to know it. And here's where I found that out early on, and I had to really put some guidelines on it. I was doing something for Jill's website, and Jill does, furniture design for hotels, and it did a phenomenal job at doing that for me so I could give it to her. But then as I had a new window open, it was pulling furniture references in. And I'm like, whoa, 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 hold on a minute. That's not my business. So I had to go back and I had to say, okay, here's who I am. I do client work. I'm going to be working with a lot of clients, and those clients need to be compartmentalized. I said, when I start a task with you, I'm going to tell you if this is for me or if this is for one of my clients. If it's one of my clients, I need that compartmentalized. I don't want that overflowing in the memory into any of the other stuff. So I had to set that standard up front with it. And it did it flawlessly. I mean, it absolutely has done everything flawlessly. It's really, really, it's wild.
That's the prompting training stuff you're talking about needing to do it so we know what the
Yes.
procedures and policies are for doing that.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I said this is a different type of prompting. There's a lot of stuff I've learned over the last month with this of how to get this thing to be like your army of people. It's an army of workers working for you under your rules. So it's like what Perry Belcher originally put out on a silver platter. That's been my goal to deliver on that, and I think I'm getting pretty close.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
running into those prompting issues as well. That the prompting is different. You have to make sure that you tell it where it needs to segment certain things, and you create incident reports and evaluations that all become part of the history and what you're calling a library and that sort of stuff. So you can keep all this stuff sorted. It's a little bit interesting to set all that stuff up, but once it's set up, like I said, it's done, and the results are mind blowing.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's pretty crazy stuff. Arba, go ahead.
oh yeah, I was saying I had a similar incident where I was well, in this case it was a different account because I was helping a client who is a baker. And so I forgot I was in her account and I was gonna craft a social media post, and it had it did the post, and then it said, and sprinkle it with a little bit of sweetness, and your recipe will be fine. And I was like, what the heck is going on with my chat? Why is it talking? And then I said, regenerate. And then it would do something else and said, and mold it together and make it a sweet layer of whatever. And then I realized I was in the wrong account. I was in my baker's account.
Well, did you notice like even when Becky was talking, how she's carrying my languaging?
Yeah.
Like how many times have you guys heard me say something's aggressive, right?
The only thing I didn't hear her say was shit. What is it that you say a lot? A whole lot. You say shit. She didn't say that. Then
Well,
I would have known it was you.
she's a little more refined than me, but she I've influenced her considerably. But Diane had a question in the chat about all these resources. Are they available to you guys? I have already made the resources available to the agencies. If you log into the members portal, you get access right now to all the agency stuff that's been built. I have not rolled it out to the affiliates yet, but I'll probably do that either today or tomorrow because it's ready to go. I want to, I'll probably do a special call just for affiliates to answer any questions and get everybody up to speed. But my God, if you can't sell this as an affiliate, you might want to look into a new career. I mean, seriously, with everything I'm giving you as an affiliate, all you have to do is put it in front of people. It's gonna sell. There's no doubt about it.
But like we said, the right people, though.
That's true. It's got to be the right people, but that's all part of business. It's like I
But
see
there's
this.
some affiliates that don't get that. There's some
Yeah,
affiliates that they just
yeah,
want to just,
yeah.
you know.
And that's what I mean. There's a lot of people that are, they consider themselves affiliates. They're really not. They're not affiliates.
They're just
But
pushers. I
yeah,
don't know what they call them.
yeah, they're cheerleaders, whatever you want to call it. But and I see this a lot with MLM. You
Yeah,
get
that's what I'm
you
talking about.
you get MLM people and they're just looking for anybody that can fog a mirror. They just want to talk to somebody. And
Well, they don't
yeah,
want to talk to anybody. They just want to push. They just want to push, just
yeah.
automate and, you know,
Yeah,
yeah.
well there's those, but then there's the ones that just they're social butterflies and they want to talk to you and they don't want to let you go. They like once they get somebody that'll talk to them, they want to glom on. That's what I call humping your leg.
Yeah.
Like I can't stand the leg humpers. It's like just get the fuck away from me.
Well, John, you've got the A and the C so far for the white label. What about the T part? Because I've been dealing with so many medical issues and stuff. I've been basically a hermit for the better part of these 15 years I've been with you. So I don't have a list. I don't have all that stuff. I'm looking for ways to, okay, now that I got all this stuff, I need some way to get some people to talk to. And that's the part that I'm wrestling with right now.
Oh, well,
You,
it's interesting that you mentioned that. In my back end, the admin section that it created for me, it actually put a file in there that it did some research for me and it says, here's where to find your affiliates. And here I've done some research. I think it identified like 50 top affiliates that would be good for my offer. And it handed that to me. Like, here, reach out to these people. Here's the email to send them. And I'm like, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. This thing is just like I'm on literally on cloud nine right now with the output of what this thing's done. So, but uh, traffic is it should never really be a challenge if you've done the A and the C correctly. Because the A tells you where your people are, where they're hanging out. That's part of the research that you should know. Is this audience on Reddit? Are these the younger chatterboxes on Reddit, or are these people that are on Facebook. You know, where are they hanging out? There's a ton of places where you can advertise doing paid ads. The only thing is, if you don't do that initial research, like if your people are on Google and they're product aware, they're solution aware, problem aware, and they're actively searching and they happen to be on Google or Bing or whatever. Like if it's females, and I've talked about this many times in the ACT program, if your audience is the female housewife, you should be advertising on Bing because that's where they are. That's where they search. And men don't search Bing. Men search Google. Bing is the default search on a computer. If you go buy a Windows computer and you plug it in and you turn it on and you click the search button, it's by default going to search Bing. And females are, and I'm not trying to downgrade females. There's different categories of females. Like there's there's females that are high functioning in business and they don't fit this mold. They're different. I'm just talking about the everyday average housewife, not a businesswoman, the just female. She's going to buy the computer, she's going to bring it home, plug it in, and hit the search button. That's it. That's how she operates. Women are more accepting of things the way they are than men. Men are not. A guy buys a Windows computer, he brings it home. The first thing he's going to want to do is pee on it. He's going to want to reconfigure it and make it his own, right? He's going to mark his territory. And one of the first things they do is they change the default search to Google. That's how it happens. So Google is primarily men, or higher functioning females, business females, people doing business. They tend to fall more into that male category for that particular thing. So traffic is an art, and the art starts with the analysis of your market, your customer, your segment, all of that. You got to figure out who they are, and that's going to tell you where they are, and then that's how you get in front of them. If you've got your banner and you're on the wrong street corner, you're not going to get much attention. But if you've got your banner with your big idea and you're walking down a street that's loaded with your prospects, you're going to get attention. So, I mean, that's the biggest thing I can tell you in traffic is you've got to be in the right place with the right message. That's what it's all about. The first part, the A, is figuring out who, you know. The second part, the C, is that's where you're figuring out the what. What do they want? And the T is bringing it in front of them. So you've got the market, the message, and the media. That's the way Dan Kennedy puts it out. His program is nothing more than the ACT protocol. Guaranteed, if you take a 30,000-foot look at Dan Kennedy's program, market, message, media, that's analysis, creation, and traffic. Guaranteed. He just doesn't break down the cycles, all the protocols, all the formulas of how to do it. He talks a big game, but he doesn't really show you how to do it. He's selling you fish, he's not showing you how to catch a fish. That's what the ACT program is for. It's how to make you self-sufficient so you can do this, and how you can put on those goggles any time of the day or night and you can see the world for what it is. You can see how that messaging works. Like once you understand how the ACT program works, you look at everything differently. It's almost like now you have knowledge. You know how the world works. You can see it through different eyes. So there is no one size fits all. I can't tell you, Richard, here's how you do traffic. There is no answer for that. The answer lies in the process. So,
Yeah, I
and
pretty much get that. It's just that is the part that once you get the first things dialed in, then that's where the shovel meets the dirt.
Yeah, exactly. That is. I mean, that's where you separate the pros from the amateurs. That is that's where it is. That's the line in the sand. A lot of people can do one of these pieces really well, but putting all three together, that's where you're going to get real true success. And it really isn't that hard. When you understand where they are, you don't have to necessarily, if you don't want to spend the money, like let's say you find your audiences on Google. They know what they're looking for. You've done the research. You know what they're typing in to search for it. You can go to war and do SEO. You can convince yourself that SEO doesn't cost anything, but it costs you time. To me, that's more valuable than money. I would rather pay the money and get in front of somebody than spend the time to do it. That's like the difference of, do I want to go to work to make my money or do I want to have mailbox money? I want the mailbox money all day long. I won't go to work to get something I could get through mailbox money. So it's the same thing. When you can go buy the traffic and just have it and not have to spend the time to get it, and you're going to do that, and then that's going to bring that money back, yeah, all day long. That would be my choice. Now, there is an art to advertising in paid sources. And that's something, that's a whole skill set in itself. And the reason that I don't teach that is because I don't do it. I'm not that good at it. There's other people out there. If you want to learn paid advertising, I'm not your teacher because I haven't mastered that skill. I haven't had to. So I'm going to be just totally right up front with you. That's a great skill set to have. I wish I had it. In fact, I wish I could just even find somebody that had it so I could hire them to go do it for me.
Frank Kern's team doesn't he? He's really good at it.
Yeah, he's really good at it, but what they sell you isn't him.
No, they don't sell you him. That's the problem with him.
No, I've had a lot of people that paid his team to do stuff and they didn't get squat. All these like guru marketers, they have this common thread amongst them. They show you on this hand, they're showing you their success. And on this hand, they're selling you their product, and the two have not a single thing to do with one another. Not a shred of commonality between the two. They don't sell you the thing they're actually doing to make that success. They sell you their products, which have nothing to do with it. So, and that is a common thread amongst all of them. I haven't found one guru that I know that I could send people to and they could do that traffic job for them. If I did, I'd be using them myself. And believe me, over the years, I've spent a lot of money buying into their promises. And not once have I found the pot of gold on the other end of the rainbow.
Yeah, I had a
So,
guy here in Dallas who bragged about how good he could do it. I forget which one of my events that we hired him to do it, paid him like 4 grand and literally got nothing for the $4,000.
yeah, that's a very common
Yeah, and
thread.
I'm like,
Yeah. That and that's where, there are a lot of affiliates out there. There's a lot of real affiliates that have spent their whole career learning how to do that stuff. They're good at it. They build mailing lists and they are the perfect primary target to allow me to get the benefit of that paid advertising without me doing it. They've done it for themselves. So I'm coming in to partner with them, and I'm the perfect solution for them because they spent the money to build the list. They built that list for one purpose and one purpose only was to make money with that list. I don't know how to do what they did, but I know who they are. So I can reach out to them and say, hey, I have an offer that will make you a lot of money with your list. Let's do it. And usually, if you show them that if you convince them that you've got the goods, they will promote you. That is how I've done what I've done. Just full transparency. Almost everybody, like every one of you, came to me through an affiliate. Every one of you. Not one of you paid for or responded to a paid ad that I ran. Not one of you. That's proof. Everything I've done in this space came from an affiliate. Everything. And quite honestly, I haven't been very good at it. So you could have my level of success by not doing it very well. That's what I'm saying. You
Where
just
do you
have
find
to
where do
do
you
it.
find those affiliates that know what, if I know who my market is and how I do, how do I find the affiliate that matches the market that I want to go after? I mean, like you said, there's a whole lot of people out there with that affiliate uh,
Uh-huh.
label on their shirt that really aren't affiliates, and there's all sorts of things. But where do you actually go and say, okay, here's the product that I have? Who affiliates out there actually have this market to go after?
So
I
when
have a
I
good example too.
Yeah, go ahead, Arba.
That and this has been there's a professional speaker that we hooked up almost 20 years ago. And sometimes when you're thinking of looking for an affiliate, it could just be someone who already has your market. So what it was is like almost 20 years ago. See, I've been doing events for a long time, and my market, which I've built really big, is solopreneurs. And many of them are looking for, they're trying to start a business. Some of them are the, affiliates or whatever. But these are people who are trying to start a business. They're coming out of a career, they're trying to start a business. His offer is that he does what's called speaking for newbies. So he does this whole speak, and it's not cheap. So it's speaking for newbies, and he takes people to teach them how to be a paid speaker. So I'm his affiliate that because I have the market that he's trying to reach. And so every time he does a speaking engagement, he gets a new client, and then he just gives me a commission from it. So that's one kind of example of look for someone who has your audience and come up with an arrangement with them.
Yeah, that's very similar to what I was going to say.
Oh.
Like like join into groups where those people are hanging out and show up there. That's
Or
that's the
better yet, get to
easiest.
know the group leader.
Yeah,
That's what he did.
that's the easiest way to do it. Look at where your audience is gathering, figure out who's running those groups, show up, introduce yourself to the group leader, and say, hey, I've got something that's perfect for everyone in the room here. How would you like to profit from that? Versus you going into their room and humping everybody's leg and trying to sell the product directly. That group leader is going to kick your ass out.
Oh, I've watched that happen.
Oh, yeah. It happens very routinely. There's a right way to do this and a wrong way to do it.
Mhm.
You have to honor the leader. That leader spent a lot of their time and money putting that room together. Don't walk in there with the intent to screw them. Walk in there with the intent to put money in their pocket and they'll love you. But if you've done the research on the beginning part of this, you should kind of have an idea where these people are hanging out. And if you don't, you've got this wonderful little tool called AI that will help you figure it out. So, but show up in the right rooms. Like with Craig Doswalt, several of you here are on here from Craig's group. And with Craig, I met Craig in one of those rooms. He was speaking at one of the rooms that I was speaking at. And, we talked a little bit, And what he told me was, he said, "Hey," he goes, "you need to join my mastermind." And I kind of laughed at him. I said, "Really? Like I need a mastermind like I need a hole in the head." And and I said, "Tell me, why exactly do I need to be part of your mastermind?" And what he said was, he said, "I've got," and this was like 10 years ago. He said, "I've got like, 500 people in here and they all need SEO." And it was like, okay, he just rang the dinner bell.
Hmm.
Now I can see why I want to be in your group. So I joined. I paid his price. I joined his group, and he did exactly what he said he was going to do. He gave me stage time. He said, "If you join the group, I'll give you access to everybody and you can tell them how SEO works. You can teach them what they need to know. And then in turn, they'll want to get it from you. They'll want to pay you to do it." I said, "Great. That sounds fantastic. That's an opportunity." What I found out was he put me on stage and I did my thing and everybody loved it. And everybody, met me in the back of the room and they all wanted me to do their SEO. The problem was they weren't the right customer for what I was doing. I only wound up taking on one customer out of his group for SEO. And that was that guy is doing wildly successful right now because of it. And I didn't take on anyone else. I didn't take on one other customer out of his group for SEO because I wasn't willing to take their money because I knew they weren't ready for it. The problem was they they didn't have an effective way to sell their product. They didn't know who their customer was. They were basically just going around in circles, not understanding how to do business. So I stayed in the group for a couple of years, and there came a turning point where I'm like, what am I even here for? I can't help this group. They're not ready for me. So I made a decision. It was like I had two choices. I can either leave the group and just like leave these people stranded, or I can figure out how to build a bridge for them to get where they are, from where they are to where they need to be, where I can help them then with SEO. And that's where I developed the ACT program. That's why I did it. I literally developed that program for Craig's group. It was made for you. And that's where I introduced it. That's where I sold it originally. And then I took it out to Alignable. Sue was from that group. That's where I met Sue Brook. Sue Brook was heavily entrenched in Alignable. She's like, "I want to be your affiliate. I want to bring you onto Alignable and let's sell stuff into Alignable." So some of you are here from there. But again, all ties, every tie of every sale I've made in this industry came from an affiliate and from one way or another. So when you see an audience, this is where opportunity, this is where my ACT goggles allowed me to see the opportunity to even build the ACT program. I was in a room of people that I could clearly see they had a problem and they needed a solution for it. So I created one. That's where the SEO Dominator Club came from. I was in a group of people that needed help. I didn't want to do the SEO for them, but I created a training module that allowed them to do it themselves without my work, without my intervention. I could do the work once, hand it off, get paid forever. That's where the initial SEO Dominator training came from. And Perry Belcher was one of the ones that promoted that for me. And I'm pretty sure that's how Richard came into the fold. Again, through the affiliate of Perry Belcher, or Ryan Dice rather. Those two were together in Digital Marketer.
Yeah,
So
it was Ryan Dice.
yeah, so I have a big group. I don't think you can point out one customer that I have in this space that didn't come, that I can't show you right where it came from through an affiliate.
You brought something up there clearly on the affiliate when joining Craig's, and this is what most people won't do. And I just did it because I found a community that literally needs my products. And I paid to join the community.
Yeah.
All right. And within 3 months, I got customers that are giving me recurring income to pay what I have to pay to be in that community. So I found it right away.
Yeah.
But the fact that most people won't go, okay, well, no, that's 200 a month, that's 50 a month, and I'm not paying that. I want access. If your clients are there and you have the product, why are you not paying $200 to join? I mean, I
Yeah.
sponsored a guy's event for the year and got 5 clients out of it as the other group. It's like, you don't,
Hmm.
why not? And you
Yeah.
just said it right there. Some
Yeah.
of you will not spend $50 to be in a community that will give you 1,000 a month.
I
Yeah.
got another example exactly from what you were saying that I have paid for coaches,
Mhm.
and I've had three coaches, and every coach that I pay for, because they have their own audience, and then when they realize, I'm technical and all that kind of stuff, they end up
Mhm.
becoming my affiliate.
Mhm.
They end up sending me
Yeah.
business because I paid for their coaching, and obviously while they were coaching me, they really got to know me and me, my personality, my skill set, and they freely refer me.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Arba, I pay Craig Duswalt more money in an affiliate check every month than I used to pay him for coaching. That's how well that relationship worked. I was like, Craig loves me because
Yeah.
he could be charging me for a coaching, or he can get this bigger check over here. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that's what
that's
you want.
that's what's up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for
You,
as much as you've talked about affiliates over all the years, a lot, it didn't go click until this conversation. So I really appreciate taking the time and
Oh,
really
good.
walking through that. But the 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 affiliate thing, that looks like it looked like a good thing, but there was some kind of a glass wall between me and that. But now, for some reason, about this conversation, it finally landed. So thank you for that.
yeah. And I guess it is actually a form of paid advertising.
Mhm.
So when I said I'd never paid for advertising, that depending on how you look at it, that might not be a true statement.
You did. You just paid after you got the sale.
Well, no,
The
but I mean
smart
paying
way.
paying to be in groups. Like for me to
Oh
pay
yeah,
to be
yeah,
in Craig's mastermind, that was paid advertising.
yeah.
That's why I was there. I was there to advertise.
So I mean, I just went down and looked at my entire clients that I've gotten over the past 3 years since starting this division, and every one of them came from a reference of somebody.
Yeah.
There's nobody that I literally went out and went, no, let me run an ad, or let me go knock on a door. They're all from somebody who referred me. Yeah.
Yeah. Business is a pay to play operation, no matter how you slice it. Even Perry Belcher. I am part of Perry Belcher's mastermind right now, not because I need a mastermind. Like, again, I need a mastermind like I need a hole in the head. It's a pay to play. I'm paying for access. I get access not only to Perry, but I get access to Perry's group.
Mhm.
All I have to do is show up every once in a while, spew out some sort of brilliance, and people flock. And that brings business. So being in the right rooms is the way you play this game. Jerry, go ahead.
Yes, I have a question about all the materials that I want to be an affiliate of the Optimancer program.
Hmm?
Not agency. I have no interest in that whatsoever. That's not my skill set whatsoever. But what I'm interested in is understanding a little more about saturation. When you've got videos and materials, and if you have dozens of affiliates using the same materials on the internet, YouTube, wherever, is there a point? And I've seen this before where I'll click on things and it'll be the same thing I've seen from somebody else who's an affiliate of somebody. So I'm just curious about your thoughts around that.
That is true. I mean, there's when somebody puts an affiliate program out there, they basically build the materials for the affiliates that are not going to build their own materials. So those affiliates, there's a lot more of them than the ones that will actually build their own materials. So yeah, you could see the same thing from a ton of different people. Your advantage with me, at least right now for sure, Your advantage with me is I'm not like all over the place. I'm not out there just like driving a bulldozer into the affiliate world. I'm basically putting it out to all the people that I know, all the people that I've built relationships with. So this is fairly virgin territory for you. So when you use my stuff to go in, you're probably not going to be posting the same stuff as all of the people that you're around have ever seen before. So does that kind of answer what your question was, or?
Yeah, but I also know that in this content world, there's a lot of overlaps and sharing of lists and a lot of cross pollination. I see it all the time. People trade
Yes.
stages, et cetera, and they're
Yes.
selling their offer to a lot of the same pool of people.
Yeah, yeah. Like I'm on a lot of the guru lists, and whenever a promotion rolls out, it's an organized, orchestrated promotion. That's when they go in and they say, I have a launch date of this, and all you guys come on, let's all promote this. I'm not doing that. I'm not promoting this as a launch date. This is an evergreen. You'll notice most of those promoters that do it that way, they don't do an evergreen. Once that launch is over, it's done and gone, and you'll never hear about it again. They're on to the next one. So that is a big difference between the way I operate and the way they operate. So my stuff is probably going to run out. Optimancer will run out for years. I don't see that going away real soon. The opportunity will rapidly diminish the more people, you know, there's going to be a lot of people doing AI optimization without Optimancer. They'll be using other stuff. Other people will be coming in to compete for this space. So,
Well, and in Jerry's case, John, she's going to see it in two different. Jerry, your case, you're going to see it in two different areas because I run one of her websites. So she's going to see it, your stuff in my marketing because of the fact that I'm
sure.
marketing it, but it has a different name on it. But it
Hmm.
Yeah.
is your product, but because I white labeled it, Jerry. So you'd see that because you're also out there. She also tells people about my website company because she's an affiliate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I've done is I put the link in the chat for you guys so you guys can get early access to the affiliate materials. So that link is in there. The page that I showed you with all the affiliate materials is in there on there. I think most of you are already an affiliate of mine, so you wouldn't need to sign up for the affiliate program. You can log into my affiliate program and grab your links in there, and it's the webinar link that you want.
John,
So,
I could see where, let's say, for example, we could run multiple businesses, which is a crazy thing to do, but at the same time, I have a niche or a focus area, but I could imagine going to local chambers of commerce and Rotary clubs and just
mhm.
talking about optimizing your website and just sell this,
Oh
you
yeah,
know, I mean,
absolutely.
which would be apart from what I've been doing, but still it could be another angle.
Yeah, absolutely. There is a very wide audience for the Optimancer product. And any place where you've got people that are web developers like Tim, it's the perfect product for those people, people that have any kind of an agency serving businesses. Any company on the planet that serves businesses would be foolish not to become an agency of Optimancer and offer that as a service. It's a no-brainer. So from an affiliate perspective, you have an unlimited amount of targets for this. As a white label agency, you have unlimited amounts of target for this because it's anybody with a WordPress site basically for the smash and grab method. So Arbo, go ahead. We'll wrap it up with you. But I just want to tell you guys, if you want to do the affiliate, I put the link in there so you guys can get access to all those affiliate materials I just showed you. And if you're an agency owner, that stuff's already been up for you. I sent an email out this last week, or this week actually, telling you exactly where it was and how to get it. So it's in your members portal. The link to all the agency stuff is in there. So Arbo, go ahead.
Yeah, one of the things I learned from this very expensive coach that I had, but it really helped, is accessorizing. And what that means is that I now look at any affiliate program that I join as an accessory instead of the what I'm my primary. So what I mean by that is that also, as a web design, the most money that I've ever made as an affiliate was after I learned that principle from her, so that when I was when I made money from selling a software, a tool, let's call it a tool or whatever, it was because of my clients, and I was saying you're going to need this
Yeah.
for, in addition to the websites or the marketing or whatever. So if you look at the fact that, and there was a whole lot of, everybody was selling it, but they were
Yeah.
all selling it face value, based on the name. So, going out just like quantum. If I was just to go out and just say, hey, get quantum, 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 everybody, oh, I've seen it before. Isn't that John Limbacher, thing or whatever? I've had that. But when I use it and I'm producing stuff and doing materials and I'm saying, here's what we can do for your campaign, here's whatever, then they're just like, hey, I need whatever tool you're using.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's how I've learned to do affiliate marketing.
Yeah. Whatever you do, whatever your product is or your business or whatever, if you're assuming that that's all your customer needs, you've got blinders on. Every customer that you have has needs way, way, way beyond what you're offering.
Mhm.
And all you have to do is line them up with it and take a little cut. There's so much more money to be had. And that's what Arba's referring to as accessorizing. They all need more stuff than what you offer. So if you're not the one bringing it to them, you're not the one making that money. Just that plain and simple. It's like that money is going to be made. It's just a question of do you want it or not? If you do, then just make the offer. Say, hey, by the way, now that you've got this from me, I would recommend that you have this also to go with it. There's so many things that a business owner is going to need. And they're happy as could be when you tell them what they need. They don't want to go out and figure it out. Just tell them what they need and say, "Hey, make it really easy on you. I've been in this business. I've tried all the providers. This is the one I like." That's
Or
what
how about
that's
this is the one I use?
yeah, that's
Even
music to their
better.
ears. Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to wrap it up for today. Thank you for, being on here early. I apologize for having to move the date, but I had something come up that I have to run out the door to now and get to it. So thanks
Thanks,
for
John.
being here. I'll get the recording up later this afternoon for some of you came on later and you might want to see the beginning, but great stuff. This is a great time to be alive, I'll tell you what.
All
So, all
right.
right, guys, have a great week and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye.